Hey everyone, and welcome. So, if you've ever tried to learn Spanish, you've definitely bumped into this weird little puzzle, right? I'm talking about grammatical gender. But you know what? Don't even worry about it, because today we are going to crack that code together.
Yeah, this is the big one, isn't it? Why on earth is a book, el libro, considered masculine, but a table, la mesa, is feminine? I mean, why? There's really no logical reason, and that's exactly what trips up almost everyone when they're starting out. But here's the secret. There is a system, and we're about to go full detective mode and figure it out.
All right, first things first, we've got to unravel this whole gender mystery. Understanding this one core idea is like the absolute foundation for getting Spanish nouns right. And here it is, the key difference. See, in English, we only really think about gender for people, maybe some animals. But in Spanish, nope, everything has a gender. I'm talking your chair, your phone, the air you're breathing right now. Every single noun is either masculine or feminine. No exceptions. Okay, so how in the world are we supposed to know which is which? Well, lucky for us, there's a huge, almost neon flashing clue that helps us solve this thing most of the time. Let's dig into the main code. And you know what's great? The main rule is actually super simple. If a noun ends in an O, like libro, it's almost always going to be masculine. And if it ends in an A, like mesa, it's almost always feminine. Seriously, this one little trick will get you the right answer a huge chunk of the time. Okay, but like any good code, there are times when it breaks. Every good mystery has a plot twist, right? So while that main rule is an amazing guide, it's not foolproof. We've got a few notorious rule breakers to watch out for. Yeah, these are the little guys that tend to trip people up. But honestly, let's just look at the most common ones right now. Because once you know them, they totally lose their power. They're not a mystery anymore. Check these out. They're perfect examples. You've got el dia for the day. See? It ends in A, but surprise, it's masculine. And then there's la mano, the hand, ends in O, but it's feminine. These are probably the biggest ones you'll see all the time, so honestly, the best strategy is to just memorize them right from the get-go. So if the ending isn't 100% reliable, what is? Well, this is. The definite articles, el for masculine words and la for feminine ones, are your secret weapon. They are the ultimate decoder. They always, and I mean always, tell you the gender of a noun. No exceptions. That's why it works for words with other endings too, like el coche or la clase. The article, my friends, is the real key. All right, awesome. We've totally cracked the gender code for single things. So what happens when we're talking about more than one? Let's add another layer and figure out how to make these nouns plural. Okay, first, the basics. Singular just means one of something. One book is el libro. Easy enough, right? And plural? Well, that's just more than one. So one book becomes some books, los libros. But the real question is, how do we make that change correctly every single time? Let's find out. And the good news is, the rules for this are really, really straightforward. If a word ends in a vowel, just tack on an S. Boom. La mesa becomes las mesas. If it ends in a consonant, you add es. So el profesor becomes los profesores. The only slightly tricky one is for words ending in Z. You just have to change that Z to a C before you add the es. So el lápiz becomes los lápices. See? Not so bad. Okay, we have one more essential tool to add to our Spanish detective kit. So far, we've mastered saying the book and the tables. But what if you just want to say a book or some tables? Well, that's where indefinite articles come into play. This chart breaks it down perfectly. Instead of using el and la for the, we use un for a masculine thing and una for a feminine thing. And when we go plural, it's unos and unas, which basically means some. The important thing to see is how it all still lines up perfectly with gender and number. Un libro is masculine singular, unas mesas is feminine plural. It all just connects. All right, we've gathered all the clues, we've cracked the codes. Now let's put everything together into your official Spanish detective kit. A few simple, powerful tips you can start using literally right now. Okay, this is the really important part. This is how you make it all stick. Number one, and this is the biggest game changer, always learn the article with the noun. Don't just learn libro, learn el libro. It has to be a single unit in your brain.
Second, if you ever forget, don't guess. A quick dictionary lookup will tell you the article. And finally, the most fun part, practice. Seriously, just look around you right now, point at stuff, and say it out loud with its article. El bolígrafo. La silla. That kind of active practice is how you really build fluency. So, let's do it. Let's put this into practice this very second. Look around the room you're in, right now. What's the first thing your eyes land on? Can you name it using el or la? Go ahead, give it a shot, because that right there is how this whole mystery really gets solved, by just doing it.